It's so wonderful to be back in touch with you again. We've done so many interviews over the years, and now you've had a huge Netflix release called Meenakshi Sundareshwar. So, a huge congratulations on that.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you for having me. It's always fun talking to you.
Absolutely. It's always fun talking to you too. So, in this film, you play a much introvert character, a much more of an introvert character who's obviously uh, trying to balance this sort of, uh, you know, like sort of raftar with life and profession as well as his personal life as well. So, how was your experience of stepping into that role and getting into that mind frame of the character?
Uh, so this film was supposed to be shot right when the first lockdown happened in India. So we got an opportunity. I'm calling it an opportunity because we didn't have a choice. The film was shifted about 6, 7 months further till things opened up. And as an actor, I got to live with the character for a while. Breathe, eat, sleep the character, and I think that helped me to get into a lot more dimensions of understanding what he would go through as a person throughout his lifetime, being burdened by family expectations, by having your own ambition, the the will to walk and create a life on your own 2 feet. And we had intensive workshop sessions with the director Vivek Soni. His vision was so airtight and so intricate detail. He gave us, we had a lot of reading sessions where he inspired us, not only using visuals, but also using music, using paintings. And we kind of based this character on Amol Palekar sir's, movies with, from back in the day, which is great. Like, for example, we rewatch Choti Si Baat a couple of times.
Oh, okay. Interesting. That's really cool. Actually, that's really cool. Now that you mention it, I can see that sort of characteristics of Amol Palekar's works coming into your character in that film as well. So I think it's also your first collaboration with Dharmatic. And it's also, I think, what your first sort of Netflix. Was it supposed to be it was always supposed to be a Netflix release,
it's
right?
a Netflix original, yeah.
Okay, fab. So what is your sort of view, I think, Abhimanyu, in terms of the sort of dynamics that sort of happen now with the digital boom happening in India? Do you feel like there's this sense of liberation for artists and for creatives now because of the OTT space and because we're seeing such fresh talent emerging as well? What is your opinion on that?
Yeah, I think it's an amazing time, not just to be an artist, but for anyone in the media industry. In the next 5-10 years, I think it's only going to see an upward direction of movement. The kind of opportunities that have, kind of risen in this wake, it's given a new set of audience, a new set of filmmakers have the opportunity to showcase diverse material, diverse stories, things that might not have worked in the theaters, but now you have another dimension to tell your stories, which is pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm. And I also find it quite fascinating with the whole idea of long distance relationships as explored in Meenakshi Sundareshwar as well. What is your opinion about that, actually, in terms of long distance relationships and making it work? Because obviously in the film we saw them as a couple, that they have this sort of understanding between them. So what is your stance on the way long distance relationships work, and can they actually work in today's day and age too?
Yeah, you have 1,000 apps that you can stay connected to anyone across the world. What is the most important thing would be the intention of the two individuals in a relationship. And of course, there's a lot of things that you got to work on. You got to have patience, you got to have compassion, you have to be understanding, empathetic towards the priorities of your partner. And like I said, if both parties intend to be with each other, I think it can be a really special relationship.
Wonderful. And I also love the music. I mean, the background score is fabulous. And I think Justin has done such a brilliant job with it as well, with the music. In fact, I think I mentioned this on Twitter, I think a few days back, but you know, the first Kiss sort of instrumental, it really brought back memories of Rehna Hai Tere Dil Mein for me. You know, the Dia Mirza's entry scene in that film as well. So
Yeah.
you know, how much of a reference point actually was, like, in fact, I also saw another tweet of yours towards you actually, which said that you reminded someone of Madhavan as well. So were all of these sort of works and all of these South Indian sort of romantic films that we've seen, especially by Mani Ratnam, so were they always an inspiration for you as well at the back of your mind?
Yeah, I mean, not only in the back of the mind, this was, some of it was the director Vivek Soni and my kind of homage to the heroes that we grew up with, and then the film and the content that really moved us back in the day. And being in the same sentence as a stalwart and an amazing actor such as Madhavan, really, uh, it's overwhelming. But moreover, I mean, it humbles you when you're compared to such an amazing actor that you really look up to. So yeah, somewhere, I mean, I was happy when I read these messages, and he's liked the movie, and
Yeah.
he's liked and he's noticed uh, the underlying aspects that we have taken inspiration from, and he's pretty happy with it. So that's
Mhm.
uh, it's great feedback.
And I think also looking at romance films nowadays, Abhimanyu, I feel like what Meenakshi Sundareshwar has done, it's kind of reminded audiences of, like when you mentioned Choti Si Baat and films like the Amol Palekar style of feels that it exudes. You know, it's that innocence, that whole simplicity and cute nature of romance too. So why do you think that it seems to be lacking nowadays? Do you think that's also because of social media and the influence of all of that coming into play here when it comes to love stories as well?
I mean, the language has the language of love has changed uh, over the years, and with technology coming in and everything becoming so instant, and the whole culture of moving on to the next best thing, uh, has definitely affected love as well. And there has been, uh, which I believe, a generational gap between filmmakers who are making emotional and romantic movies and the kind of romance that is actually happening, uh, with the current generation of youngsters.
Hmm.
So I think, understanding the newer generation, and yes, you have young directors uh, getting opportunities now. I think we'll see a lot more love stories that you can connect to, and the newer generation can connect to,
Hmm.
which speaks their love language, because that understanding is definitely needed.
Mhm, mhm. Now, the film has received what you know, majority and predominantly a lot of love and positive reception.
Yeah,
But there have also been a few critics as well, a few
yeah,
critiques rather, which sort
yeah.
of question again the sort of like the accuracy of the portrayal of South Indians through cinema. How do you react to such receptions? What is your response to that, especially the criticisms and, you know, don't want to say accusations, but I guess people raising questions on the, you know, pushing the stereotype of culture. What would you say to that?
I mean, the point is that we did our research. We had a couple of uh, Tamilians who were there, part of our crew, the second unit director, the DOP, the ADs. They kept referencing and kept telling us what is right and what is wrong. But moreover, more than that, it was about our intent. Our intent was pure. We put in all our effort to showcase a love story, and at the end of the day, that's what we wanted to showcase. It was uh, a love story of emotions, and that's what the feedback we've got, that we've touched the right notes on the emotion bit, and you leave the film happy and hopeful in this pandemic time where despair and agony and pain and anger is all that you see suffering around you.
Mm.
So that feels nice. And in life, we can't make everyone happy. Can you? No one can.
No.
So why do you put the responsibility and that pressure on one film to make everybody happy?
True.
Someone's always going to have something to say. And you got to pick up the constructive part of it and work on yourself and make sure that you're better next time.
Yeah, very well said there. Very well said. And I think it's wonderful as well, because another thing I wanted to highlight as well, I think like Benny Dayal and you seem to have a very lovely connection, because I feel like in every film of yours, there's always this one peppy track, which has always stuck with us since. And it's always, even now, it's a bop to listen to when you're walking or at an event.
He's not just a singer, but I think he's got an amazing infectious vibe. And he brings that energy when he performs and when he sings his song. And I really like listening to his music. And like you said, it was, Vara Machane was there, and Rapan Rapi Rap as well. And it's been amazing. So, I look forward to some more collabs with him pretty soon.
Yeah, that's amazing as well. But I think we've spoken at length about Murko Darni Hota and how like the process you went through for that role. And I think it really is a fun film even now to watch. And it definitely has sort of been that one film which really amalgamates sort of masala cinema with sort of the pop culture element, but yet is also very wacky, and it has all these very cinematic things as well. But it's quite interesting to see how you've, in a way, sort of taken commercial cinema in a very different direction. You bring this sense of freshness to this sort of masala zone and to the potboiler zone almost, and that's quite evident as well, I think, with your upcoming films, Nikamma and Aankh Mein Choli. So has this always been the sort of mind frame for you? And it's not game change masala cinema, but to sort of foray onto it and sort of be dynamic on this space in that side of cinema too.
I mean, the first few statements that you made, I feel you give me way too much credit than I deserve. But, it's not just the vision of an actor. It's moreover the vision of the director and the writer. You've got to be on the same page when you're making a film. And fortunately, both the releases that you have seen, the teams have been passionately involved, trying to deliver their best with all their effort and all their heart into what they were making. And yeah, these were films that I would have liked to watch myself as an audience. And that's why I became a part of this film, both the films for that matter. And I'm just happy that people are receiving it with a lot of love across the world. And this is the cinema that, other than me, a lot of other people also were hoping and wanting to watch, which we've missed in the past few years. So I think, just putting in my 100% effort and passion into anything that I honestly believe that I can make, a contribution to, is something that I would like to do. And yeah, of course, in the meantime, in my process, keep challenging myself with different genres, different characters, and hopefully crack a few names which become household favorites.
And I think it's really interesting as well, Abhi, as I mentioned in the first initial question that I asked you about the whole OTT boom in India. Even though we are seeing fresh talent and storytelling at its prime, I think, and creativity sort of emerging now, do you still feel it's also important to have that commercial aspect as well? Because now that cinemas are reopening, I mean, Suryavanshis had a bumper, box office collection. So how important do you think is commercial viability now at the time of the pandemic and where cinemas are, just about reviving?
I mean, cinema is going to come back with a vengeance. There's no doubt about that. What OTT gives you is content consumption. What cinemas gives you is an experience. You remember who you went with. You remember what you ate. You remember if there was traffic, what time you left, and how you felt. When you're consuming content on your at the comfort at your home on your couch, there are about 1,000 things that are on your mind as well. You're answering texts, you're going out to get pizza, you're making a phone call, you're pausing, maybe you watch a film at 3 different breaks, across a week maybe. But that is not an opportunity you get in the theater. But, the theater takes away your time, your priority, and a lot of effort to go there and watch, money and stuff like that. So I honestly do believe that the OTT is the step ahead, but the stars are only going to be made in the theaters from now on.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Now, I know you said you don't like also being boxed in as an actor. You like to explore everything that's different to what you've done before and try and sort of, I guess, expand yourself creatively. But do you have an ambitious role or an ambitious style of story that you really are quite keen on exploring?
I do enjoy watching the action genre the most. So that's something I'm definitely leaning towards. And yeah, sports film. I think there's a lack of sports stories being told to inspire and motivate young athletes in our country. Their dedication and discipline is unparalleled in any other path that you choose in society. So as a salute or as homage or as to pay respects to athletes, because I'm an avid sportsman myself. I would love to do a sports film, even if it's fictional, biopic. That's fine, but put in my 100% effort, passion to show them in the light that they deserve.
Right. I'm hoping that happens really soon. But I think on a more final note, Abhimanyu, we have 2 very interesting films of yours coming up. One is Nikamma, which I've been waiting for like an eternity, and I'm sure you've been waiting for an eternity as well, for that to finally release and have its sort of premiere. And also you have Aankh Mein Choli again, which is another very exciting film, which, as you know, I'm very excited about. So first of all, what's the update on these 2 films? And again, even though they're all kind of in the sort of family-oriented action/comedy sort of areas, what can we expect from you in those 2 titles as well?
I mean, I would love it if you don't expect anything and you went in with curiosity for either of the films. You'll leave happier. But yeah, both these films are slated to release early next year. Both are going to be in theaters. So there's a lot of fun content coming your way very, very soon. And I'm glad I could start this season with Meenakshi Sundareshwar, because that's very close to my heart. It's a special film. And for those who haven't had the opportunity to watch it, it's online, it's on Netflix, it's all over the world, it's dubbed in multiple languages. Please give it a chance. Come fall in love. It's been tough being patient, but you gotta be flexible in life, and you gotta learn how to go with the flow. Instead of asking yourself, why me? Ask yourself, what do I learn from this when you're in a situation? And that helps you, take everything with a pinch of salt and just be happy on a daily basis. And what I also believe in, it's about the process. I really enjoyed making both those films. The journeys that I had, I learned a lot, spent amazing time with a lot of experienced and amazing personalities. And the only thing that's left is the admiration from the fans. And I mean, that'll come when it has to, I guess.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's already happening, I think, to be honest. So, but as I say, derai durust hai, and I think, sabar ka phal meetha hota. I think these 2 proverbs actually really do.
Yeah. Also, good things come to those who wait.
Yes, exactly. But I can't wait to see more of those films and more work from you, Abhimanyu. It's always such a pleasure to chat with you on Filme Shilmy, and can't wait to catch up with you again super soon.
Thank you, Anuj. Thank you. It was good to see you, and let's catch up soon.
Yes, definitely. Take care, Abhi.
See you.
Bye.